Hey crafty people, welcome back to my channel, and in case you're new here, I'm Sarah, also known as Craft Nerd because I'm a nerd who loves to craft. I do paper crafting, card making, junk journaling, and mixed media art. Let's get crafting! Oh, welcome to my channel. So today we are going to do a bunch of different ideas using 12 by 12 paper to create like pockets and belly bands and things like that that are gonna cover up like a blank page in your journal. So I got many pieces of 12 by 12 scrapbook paper out because I have many packs of 12 by 12 scrapbook paper that I need to use. So I figured this is a good way to use up some of that scrapbook paper. And several of these ideas I got from Gail Augustinelli, and then a couple are just kind of tweaks on ideas from her. So let's pull out. Let's grab a couple pages. Let's do these two. Now I'm trying to decide. Let's cut this down to 8.5. Then we're gonna cut 3.5 and 3.5 and 3.5, and that's gonna leave us 1.5 inch strip. And we actually have a 3.5 inch strip here. So let's cut this down to 8.5. Just having a bit of a think about what I want to do. I think we're gonna cut this down to 8.5 as well. Do 3.5, 3.5, 3.5, I'm holding off on cutting the bigger strip because what we're gonna do is create a piece that has 3 pockets on it. And so let's pull out. Let's go do that one. And then flip and use that side. That one. And flip and use that one. And then we're going to cut our pockets from these strips. And we need 3 pockets that measure 3 by 2.5. And so the 3 is the width. So I think what I'm going to do is just cut off pockets at 2.5. And then I'm going to go in and cut them down to 3. going to go through and do that for all of these. All right, now we're gonna notch all of them in the center. I'm gonna try and do all three at once, and I'm gonna use a 1.5 inch circle punch, but I'm not sure if it's gonna like this, if they're gonna be too thick. That worked perfectly. All right, I'll do the same with these guys and all of them. So I'm just gonna go through and notch them all. All right. Now, leave Gale round at the top corners of the pockets. Definitely going to need to ink edges. And I'm actually thinking I may want to round the bottom corners as well. Use some scorched timber. Top and bottom pockets first, and then put the middle pocket equidistant between the two, and then she also then puts this on a piece of craft paper and rounds like one side, because when you glue it on the page, you're going to glue it on so that it can be, this can be a pocket as well. I actually think I may do like 2 that way and 2 just leave like this, because this can then be a belly band on a page. So I'm going to hold off on rounding the corner until I decide which one's going to be which. I am going to go through and glue pockets on all of the rest of these, because I don't know that you need to see me do that. And then we will move on to the next idea. Okay, so I did want to finish these guys off, but I decided I'm only going to do 2 on the craft. So we'll do that one. Yeah. Yeah, I think I like that on there. So we're going to round this corner. And then we're going to glue this on as a pocket. So we're not going to glue this side. We're going to glue the other side. Oh, first let's ink the edges. So that'll go on a page like that, and we'll have a pocket here and a pocket back there. And let's add some actual glue here so that it stays shut. So we've got one of them done like that, and then this one will leave to be a belly band. And then let's do this one, and we'll set it so it'll go on a page on this side. On the page, and they'll have a pocket there and a pocket there, and these guys and this. Now there's one other thing Gail did with hers, and she filled the pocket with like faux envelope journaling spots. Now we're gonna do that to 2 of them, and then the other 2 I'll save and put like decorative ephemera or something in. So let's see, let's do those 2. So we'll do one for a belly band and one for the full page pocket. And so what she did was, this is a strip that's 8.5 by 2.5, and she kind of pinch the center. Folded those in like that, and then did up to there, and then folded up again, and then you fold it down so it looks like a little envelope. And then that gets tucked into our pocket. So I'm going to just do those for all of the 5 remaining pockets. I apparently didn't cut enough pieces of paper, so I'll do the last one off camera. So there are those pockets. Okay, next idea. Really simple idea. We are going to take our paper trimmer. We are going to cut this into 3 pieces, 4 inches wide. We're going to grab our scoreboard, and we are going to score 1/2 inches. Actually, let's do 3 3/4 inches. just, oh, there it is. I'm gonna mark the center. I am on camera, right? Let me skip that up a little bit. And I am gonna grab a circle punch again. I'm gonna ink, and I think I'm just gonna go with the scorched timber again because that kind of goes nicely with this. I also want to round those top corners, and we're gonna glue the pocket shut. There we go, one pocket. Oh, dagnabbit. I forgot to ink before I glued it. That's okay. What we can do is stick a scrap piece of paper in and like that. And again, the corners. All right, so there we go. One more sheet of paper down, and it created 3 pockets. All right, this is the next, so for the next idea, we're going to cut this in 4-inch pieces again. We are going to fold them in half. Actually, I'm going to use my scoreboard, not to score, but to butt it up against so that I can get a nice fold in. I actually think I'm going to set this aside and save it for some of the other ideas and just do 2 of this style pocket for now. And then what we are going to do is we're going to take our paper trimmer, we're going to decide which side we want as our front. I think let's go this way on that one, and then this way on this one. Take our paper trimmer and we're going to put these in like so and cut just shy of the score line on the diagonal. So like that. So we've got that piece. And then this piece we will glue on as a pocket. And we're gonna add a little trim along here, which I did not grab. I'm gonna need to do that. Let me grab some trim. All right, I got out some trim, so let's glue the trim. Let's glue the pockets on first. The trim's gonna need a minute or two to dry. So I'm trying to decide if I want to ink the edges of our pocket, and I think I do. I think I'm going to use Bundled Sage Distress Oxide, and this is another idea I got from Gail Agustinelli. And then I'll add trim. Just putting a little fray check at the edges here to keep it from getting all frizzy. Mostly because I found that I had a bottle of fray check in my stash. I've been going through and reorganizing stuff in my craft room, and so that was one of the things I found. I was like, oh, that's good to have. I should use that instead of having it shoved away in a drawer somewhere. There we go. Idea number 3. And I probably should ink all the rest of the edges now, because what'll end up happening is I'll put these away and go to use them in a journal and then not remember what color ink I used to ink the edges. All right, for the next idea, you're gonna need a couple of sheets of 12 by 12 paper, and we're gonna start by cutting one down to, I think I'm gonna go 8 1/4, so it's not quite a full page. Then I think I want to do these a little wider, so we're going to do 4 1/2. Okay, so apparently I must have hit pause while I was trying to decide what I was doing and forgot to unpause it. So what I've done is taken some of the offcut pieces, cut them to the 8 1/4 size, and then cut them down to make them into pockets. I notched it out so you could see that it's a pocket, and rounded all of our corners and inked the inside edges. So we're going to glue this down. Don't worry, I'll do another one of these. So if you glue it on the page so that you only glue on like 3 sides of the base piece, you can have 3 pockets. So if you glue it on the page like that, you could have a pocket there. We've got a pocket here and a pocket there. I'm going to ink these edges just because I won't remember when I go to use this what ink I used. Another large page pocket. All right, let's pull over another one of our bases since we've got several many of them. I really like how that looks. Like, this is the page that had like a giant heart on it. I was always like, oh, what am I going to do with this page? But now that it's cut down, it just looks like that. And I'm thinking I may want to change what I was planning on doing. I'm going to set that one aside for a minute because I have had another idea. All right. So for this plain green one, another option is, let's pull these over and decide which one we like best. Yeah, I think I like that. So we're just going to do one big pocket on the bottom of this. Doing this, and I think I'm going to round corners. Oh no, I forgot we did it at 4.5. Oh man. Oh man. All right, I have an idea. Yes, that'll work. Let's do that piece. Dagnabbit. And I had a moment where I was like, maybe I should measure to double check what size I need for this. And I'm like, nah, they're all the same size. You know it's 4 inches. And again, I need to round the bottom corners first because this is kind of thick paper. It's $49 at Market. I think it's this one, Rouge. I don't know. I've had it forever, and the pages I've pulled out are like the last pages left. So I will have finished off this paperback once we are done making these pieces. There's another pocket. So what I was thinking we could do is do stacked pockets going this way. These guys are too small, right? Right, okay. So let's do 4 inches off of each of these. Use that as my guide for punching the notch. Actually, I want to kind of make that notch a little deeper, I think. All right, ink edges. And then what we will do is do that pocket to the bottom, that pocket in the middle, and this pocket towards the top, like so. Now, in gluing this down, we have two options. We can glue each individual pocket down, and in which case they will be shallow pockets, or we can glue this pocket to that pocket. And glue that pocket to that pocket. And then glue the whole thing onto our piece. That one's done. Let's see, what do we got? Nicely on there. All right, we're gonna do that, but I also think I want to put lace, and we're just gonna put a belly band on this one. Hopefully I've been on camera sufficiently, because I just realized my thing was too far down. All right, I grabbed some white lace. I'm gonna have corners and have circles all over the place when I'm done. All right, let's flip this over and just glue on some lace. That will get glued on here as a belly band. Oh, I like that. All right, let's do that. All right, that one's done. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 left. All right. Let's see. I'm trying to think, what have we done? All right, we have done belly band, pocket that way, single pocket, pockets going that way. That one I really like, and I have another idea for. And actually, I had yet another idea, so I think maybe we'll try that with this one. We've got, should I use that one as a base? Let's use that as a base, and let's do that side. This one I think is going to get a sideways belly band with this piece. So let's just go ahead and do that one while I think about that one. Kind of feel like it needs a piece of like lace down the center there. All right. And I think to make the edges cleaner, I'm just going to cut off a piece. Scooch everything out of the way. What we're going to do is glue it around the back. Since this is going on as a belly band, to ensure we don't have any issues with the stuff we put in the belly band catching on the lace, we're just going to... I want to grab a pair of decorative scissors. All right, there we go. Belly band, short ways. All right, that one. You know what? Yes, this is what we're gonna do, and then I'm gonna grab something else. So this is, how wide is this? About 3 inches. Let's cut it down to 2. Design strips that go with this paper. Yeah, it's Art Options Rouge. That's one option. This is the other. The pink one we used earlier was Color Swatch Blossom. So I'm down to that one. Or that one. I think I like that one. All right, let's trim that down. Because we have 2 options. We could glue it on and have it be a belly band so that you could tuck something in here and in the pocket. Why not? Can always glue it all the way down later. All right, we got 2 more. And for this one, I'm going to use this piece of lace to create a pocket. And again, I'm going to do the wrap around the back. Actually, I do want to round the corners. Let's do that. Going to use some tape to help stick it down. Then I've got to go let a dog out. All right, I like that. So that is a pocket right there that you can stick something into. I will round the corners in a second. I just got to go let my dog out. Okay, so I let the dog out and I got what I wanted for this one, which is a piece of vellum, which I embossed using Tim Holtz Sizzix embossing fades. And this one is Botanical Large 666888. And this is one of the A5 ones that are ginormous, because when I cut the thing, I realized, ooh, that's not going to fit in a regular, the piece I cut of vellum wasn't going to fit in a regular one, because I figured to solve the problem you usually have with vellum of with the gluing down showing, we're just going to wrap it around. And it's not we're gonna do this. And I know there's some cracking because vellum can be finicky about going through an embossing folder, but I'm not bothered by that. Like, it doesn't bother me when it cracks in the machine. So we're just gonna do this, and I'm gonna grab, I think I'm gonna use Bodily Arts glue. It works a little bit better with vellum than art glitter glue. And honestly, I'm thinking of just pulling over the tape to just make sure it stays down securely, because I plan on gluing this onto a page in a journal, so you're not gonna see the back. I am going to round the top corners. Obviously, I'm not going to touch the bottom corners. And there we go. We've got a nice deep vellum pocket. Not seeing the pattern paper through as well as I would have liked, but that's okay. And so you can then stick a big old tag in. In fact, I think I'm probably going to keep that with that pocket and just decorate it. Maybe do that side and decorate it. And there we go. That is all done. Oh, this one, we need to round the top corners. So from this paper pad that, granted, it was already started and I didn't have a ton left, I only have scraps left now. Like, I only have like these largest scraps and then the decorative strips and some pressy cut pieces that I need to cut out. So I am very happy about that. I think I'm gonna do a bunch more of these off camera and come back and show you what I did, because I pulled out a ton more of my pattern papers, because I've got the pink ones that we did. I have the remnants of that paper pad as well, and it only has a few more pages left. So I think if I do a set of these guys out of them, I can finish off that paper pad as well, which makes me very happy. I would like to get some of my paper pads finished off because I have too many. So I think I'm going to do that. I'll show you what I did off camera, and then we'll recap what we did on camera. So I'll be back. Okay, so I may have gone a little bit overboard doing some extra ones off camera. I really got into the groove of trying to use up my paper pads. So we got a bunch more of the little flip up hidden pockety things. And then I did a vellum belly band on this page and another one with a vellum pocket, but I didn't emboss the pocket this time, and you can see the image a lot better because it's just so pretty. And then these are the, oh, let's flip them around. So pretty much similar to what we've already done. I think there might be one or two that's a little different, so let me flip through so I can show you those. Why does this feel so bulky? I think it's just bulky. I used paper to create a belly band on this one and decorative scissors to trim the edges to make them pretty. Belly band with lace, lace, pocket. Ah, here's what I did different. For a few of them I did just little corner pockets. So that one's an up tuck. And I know I've got a few that are corner pockets for the bottom corner. This one I just did a skinny side tuck because, again, the paper's so pretty, I don't want to cover it up. This guy I did, and I haven't rounded the corner, so I need to do that. A strip of paper on a piece of burlap ribbon. This one I did the side pocket and then added a little pocket on down here that I could put a little tag in. I did some stamping on this paper because it was plain, so we've got that pocket and that pocket. This one I did a trio of pockets. So we got 1 pocket, 2 pockets, 3 pockets. This one I did the pocket at the top as an up tuck because of the way the image went. I did a couple with a neutral palette and then did some Christmas rub-ons on them to make them Christmassy. So yeah, I used a lot. Here's another belly band with ribbon on it. I did several many off camera. I got a little carried away. So yeah, and I thought I had finished off this paper pack and this paper pack, but when I was working on the next video, which is going to also involve 12 by 12 paper pads, I found a couple extra sheets of that. But by the end of the next video, I'll have finished off that paper pad and this paper pad and that one. Is it that one? There's another blue one. And this paper pad. So I am actually finishing off some paper pads. So those are the ones I did off camera, and then here are the ones we did in today's video. So we've got the corner pockets, the little flip up flap and ribbon on it. We've got this sideways belly band with lace and this full-length belly band with lace. We did the stacked pockets, bottom pocket, side pockets going in both directions. And this one, it's a belly band on there. Oh look, I left a scrap piece of paper in there to show. I did a lace pocket on this one. Here's the one I did the vellum pocket on, and I am going to use this piece of paper to create a tag that will live in there. So I'm just going to keep that together. A few more of the bottom pockets. And then the one we started out with, which is the idea from Gail Agostinelli with the glue on the page to make that a pocket. That's a pocket. And then we've got the 3 little pockets with little pieces of coffee dyed paper folded up to look like little envelopes. So we did 2 like that. And then we did 2 that'll just be belly bands on a page. And then I did the paper in 2 of them and left the other 2 blank for putting whatever else I come up with. So that's all for today. If you enjoyed this video, please do all the things that lets YouTube know you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave me a comment down below. Thanks for joining me, and happy crafting!